Hello, academic advisors. This is going to be a quick tutorial video on how to take a look at your student lists. We've done some updates in the last couple months that have made it so that we don't have to use the cohorts we were using before. Rather, we are now using some automatic assignments from Banner so that we can make sure you all get the most recent list of students possible. So today I'm just going to quickly show y'all how to use those lists. So right now I'm logged in as Philip. I'm just going to go ahead and take a look at his list of students. So to start us off, I'm going to go to our favorite main menu, the three bars in the top corner. I'm going to head to the students list here. So as y'all will notice while this is loading, Philip has quite a few tabs up top here. Seeing this progress survey makes me think that he is a faculty member, so most of you are not going to be seeing that unless you're teaching courses. For most academic advisors, you're going to see the My Students tab, the Tracking tab, and the Intake tab. The two that we're really going to be talking about today are going to be the My Students tab and the Tracking tab. What you're going to want to do first here in your My Students tab is change the connection. So we've had a couple connections that we've used throughout the last year, but now that we have our automatic assignments in Banner, we're going to use the primary advisor connection to view our students. This is how we tie your students to you, is through this primary advisor label. So I'm going to click on that real quick, and it's going to load Philip's list of students. So now that his student list has loaded, again, we didn't have to use the cohort button at all to load his list of students. I'm going to show you all a couple ways that we can filter down this list of students. To add a filter, you'll go to additional filters. Attributes is where we're going to be spending most of our time adding new filters. So in this example, I'm going to look for all of Philip's humanities students. I just want to see the humanities students. To do that, I'm going to add an attribute here. And then we've got a lot of attributes you can choose from that we're hoping to teach you all more about as we start to figure out which ones are most useful to academic advising. But for now, we're just going to focus on the current academic program, again, because we're looking for just humanities students. So we're going to filter by their program by clicking on that. You don't need to worry about the term filters. Then we're going to choose specific value here, because we're looking for that specific value that is philosophy. And if you click on this drop-down menu, you'll see all of the programs of study at Salt Lake Community College. So since we're looking for humanities, we'll scroll down and select humanities from this list. And then once you have your filter selected as you need it, you'll click submit. All right, so as you can see, we now have way less students in Philip's list. That's 234 humanities students that Philip advises. As you can see, when I click on the first student's program, their program is listed as humanities, so this is working the way I expected it to. So that's one way to filter your list, is by program of study. The next major way that we usually want to look at our list of students is by looking at the flags that they may have raised on them. Again, this is all in an effort to support students, so knowing which students in our assignment list have flags helps us to better help students. So to view the students in your list that have flags on them, you're going to go to the Tracking tab. Again, a flag is a tracking item. It helps us keep track of students. So let's hop over there. So as you can see here, Philip still has his old cohort selected. We are going to deselect those. And I'm also going to deselect the Humanities Pathway Advisor connection because, again, that is not going to help us view our student list. Now that I have a blank slate on all of my filters, I can go in to my view. And you'll want to do this step first, just to make sure that you're viewing the students you want to be viewing. And here, again, we're wanting to view flags so that we can better support students who have flags. So we're going to click on the flag inbox. And the first thing it's going to load is all of the students at Salt Lake Community College who have a flag. That's not what we want to see. So after we've done the flag inbox step, we can go in and filter it down to our group of students. So this is going to be exactly the same way we did it with the My Students tab. You go to the connection, Again, primary advisor is our new connection that we're using. And then that's all you have to do. We didn't add additional filters, we didn't add a cohort, we just had our flag inbox for our view and our primary advisor for our connection. As you'll notice, this will change to custom after you adjust your connection. We're not entirely sure why that does that, but we do know that this is the correct list. So don't worry when you see that custom label. It does not mean that you are viewing something other than the flag inbox. From here, you can further filter down your list by program. For example, you could just view humanities students with a flag, but typically you're not going to have too many flags in this list. As you can see, Philip has 53 out of the almost 2,000 students he has. So typically this gets it down to a pretty manageable list so that you can come in here, address these flags, again, clear them to close the loop, but always an option to filter down further if you want to view one program at a time. One last note I have before we take off, I recommend that everyone check their additional filters tab or area every time they pull a list. Sometimes you'll put a filter on and you don't realize that it's still there. So when there is an additional filter present, it'll give you this little, as you can see, it says filters applied when I hover over it, but it's just a little red check mark. So if you don't want an additional filter, be sure to remove that by clicking this X button. All right, and that is in a nutshell how you view your student lists and an introduction to one of our most useful filters. If you have any additional questions, again, feel free to reach out to Elaine or Holly. We are happy to help with any technical questions you have and can train you on anything that you may need. Thank you so much and have a great day.